So, I was watching that Breaking Bad movie yesterday, as the description depicts, and I was somewhat disappointed as it was going on. I found myself getting on my phone and getting on my computer, but for a great deal of it had my attention. The biggest takeaway, the biggest selling point was the nostalgia. First of all, this isn't much of a review, but I just want to say the way that I'm looking at it now, as I was reflecting on it in the shower a couple minutes ago, is that you want to see it as um, the new season finale. So the new season finale of Breaking Bad with some flashbacks, and you're gonna see some characters that you know and love from the show. I mean, you're pretty much gonna see you're gonna see most of them. All right, anyone who played into Jesse Pinkman's story. So, um, I mean, granted, the way it ended, I guess it could have been better. But again, you want to see this like a season finale. All right, because when it comes to ending the show, you gotta put yourself into a corner. You have to wrap things up, and the only thing that they didn't wrap up was obviously what happened to Jesse Pinkman. So this is what happened to him. So, um, don't go looking for the ending to really knock your socks off. It's all about the story. So all the ongoings that happen. Very interesting to see somebody who's like 40 something play a teenager, even though he was pretty old to be playing a teenager then, but it worked. And I wasn't even gonna bring this up because I forgot the dude's name, but the one dude that he killed towards the end of Breaking Bad, I'm talking about Jesse Pinkman, the one dude he killed, the white dude who was on Friday Night Lights and like Michael, whatever. I can't even remember what his name was on the show, but he was significantly bigger. He definitely put on some weight, so I thought that was like um I don't know. That kind of it didn't bother me in a way where it really took away from the movie, but I couldn't help but notice how bigger he was. He had to be like 30 to 50 pounds heavier than he was back then, and it was weird because he was playing in a flashback, and that's the thing. But anyway, the reason why I make this video because I don't like to do movie reviews or anything like that unless there's a takeaway, and the biggest takeaway is nostalgia. And as I'm wearing a shirt that says "Made in the '90s," there we go. Um, it's crazy. And then they got the new Toy Story movie out, which I didn't see. I probably won't because of Tim Allen. Like I don't know, man. Like he's a disappointment to me and the black community. Um, but the nostalgia, and as when we reach a certain age, we make a silent pact with ourselves to leave things in the past, leave things behind. And it isn't until you start indulging in things that remind you of the past that you realize, like, hey, not only can I keep these things with me, how about I do it? So I've been feeling this longing to throw like a '90s party. I never throw parties at all, and I probably never will. But like, I just want to play the Nintendo 64, play the Sega Genesis, watch the Looney Tunes and all that used to come on in the morning when I was a kid back in the '90s, and that's so easily accessible, and it's joyful. It brings back all those good memories when you didn't have as many worries. The innocence was there. It was all about having fun. You let other people take care of things. And I understand as adults we can't always do that, but when we take a look at some of the things that we do in our spare time, it doesn't really amount to the clean fun that we used to have back in the day. So now a lot of what we do as adults to have fun that doesn't involve our kids or whatever, it's drinking and partying, things of that nature. Maybe go to the casino, the club, whatever it is, grown up stuff. But I like doing kid stuff, but I haven't done enough of it. Well, things that are considered kid stuff. Watching cartoons, all right, playing video games. Of course, obviously, grown people do both, but like just because we're adults doesn't mean everything has to be so serious, and that's the point that I'm trying to make, man. When you indulge in some things from back in the day, like I indulge in some things from the 90s, made in the 90s. I was made in the 90s. But when I, like, it just, like, it reminds me of those times where I would come home after school, play Star Fox on N64 because it was the only game that I had, and I never got too far on it. And eat some Gushers, and then watch Figure It Out, and Keenan and Kel, and all those things we can still do. And I think it's really amazing, and we should definitely take advantage of that because it's cheap. It's cheap joy. It's clean. It's something that we can share with other people. And it keeps us young. It keeps us youthful. A constant reminder that just because we're getting older doesn't mean we have to put away everything. We don't have to put away the things that brought us joy. We can still use our imagination. One thing that I can say that I didn't have to lose, that I never missed out on, or that I never completely buried, was using my imagination and asking all these childlike questions. Now, I did tuck it away through periods of my life when I didn't understand the importance of these things, but it always stuck with me dormant at the very least. And I want you all in on this, man. Like, what are some of the things that you used to do in the past that you just put aside? Like, pick it back up. You don't have to wait until you have kids and live through them. Obviously, that's great. And then you have an opportunity to go to Chuck E. Cheese and play, and I thought that was pretty fun. The last time I went to a birthday party, my cousin, it was fun. It was fun like I never had before. And I've been to Chuck E. Cheese as a kid many times, but it was fun like I never had before as an adult. When I could actually be sober, take it all in, and just let all the adult worries go, because it's gonna pop up regardless. But any given moment you have to really enjoy yourself, that's not going to hinder, the long-term missions and anything like that, man. Please take it in, because a lot of us, we spend our spare time maybe binge watching some, I don't know, American Horror Story, and I bring that up because of the seriousness of it. And I mean, it's not anything particularly wrong with that, but it's like, if you're going to do that and you're going to spend your time scrolling on the phone, you may as well take a little bit of time to do some of the things that brought you joy as a child. Pass it on to your children, pass it on to the youth, or keep it to yourself. But that's all for real. And to speak on the movie, Breaking Bad, just to wrap this up, watch it. I found myself a couple times just picking out little plot points that I didn't really like, didn't really understand, but let the nostalgia take over. If this was a show that had brought you some joy, it's good to have people back, have the gang back for one last time. And it just kind of reminds me of Better Call Saul too, because I stopped watching it. It's kind of dry, but really, I guess it's a really good show, but kind of dry. And I'm not sure where Saul ended up going after Breaking Bad. I don't know if he went to Alaska or what have you, but I think they were kind of foreshadowing a possible meetup between the two. Because at the end of the movie, it's going to have you wondering, okay, now where Jesse Pinkman, like, now what is he going to be up to? Because he's going to be alive. Like, this isn't retirement per se. Like, what's he going to do? People are still going to be looking for him. As far as the law goes and all that. I mean, so long as you're in America, I mean, you still going to have to look over your shoulders for somebody, finding you, So, that's all. I say watch it, but keep your expectations low. Um, it was a 2-hour movie. It's not a whole series. Enjoy. Peace.